Food and nutrition. Welcome to the International Translation Health Store. We often go for a checkup at our local doctor or hospital. And we often hear something like this. We are not eating right, or we are not eating enough vegetable, or too much salt, too much sugar, too much meat. The big question is, what can we eat? Let's start from your local convenience store. Shall we? Almost everything in your local convenience store. And what we discovered is food preservative in almost every food item. And get this. Most of the food you eat today has preservatives in it. Natural and artificial preservatives are added to help keep your food from spoiling quickly. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration heavily regulates preservatives and must approve new ones before they're allowed in foods on grocery shelves in the U.S. Food preservatives protect food from mold, yeast, botulism toxin, and other organisms that cause food poisoning. Salting meat and adding sugar to canned foods was the original method of preserving food. Natural preservatives come from organic products, not from a lab like artificial preservatives. WebMD.
Natural preservatives. Are they better than artificial? That leads me to my next question. Artificial preservatives. Are artificial preservatives safe to consume? And the answer will shock you. Many additives, some of which have no nutritional value, can be legally used in processed foods. They intensify color, thicken, increase shelf life, and enhance flavor. Regulatory authorities issue approvals as safe within acceptable quantitative limits. Ultra-processed foods, UPFs, contain combinations of all these additives and are particularly attractive to children. Many publications suggest that artificial colorants, benzoate preservatives, non-caloric sweeteners, emulsifiers, and the degradation derivatives have adverse effects by increasing risks of mental health disorders, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, cardiovascular disease, metabolic syndrome, and potential carcinogenic effects. A systematic review has established that artificial azo-dye food colorants, AFCs, and sodium benzoate preservative cause disturbed behavior in children. AFCs and benzoates in animal models have neurotoxic properties through gut microbial generation of toxic metabolites. Observational studies show associations between high emulsifier intake and cardiovascular disease. Animal models and in vitro studies have highlighted neurotoxic, cytotoxic, genotoxic, and carcinogenic effects. High intake of non-caloric sweeteners has been linked to cardiovascular disease and depression in adults and is linked to childhood obesity. Little research has focused on children, who are the largest consumers of UPFs. Potentially, they are a ticking time bomb for adult obesity, metabolic syndrome, cardiovascular diseases, mental health disorders, and cancers. Based on risk-benefit analysis, azo-dye AFCs should be banned. Benzoates, emulsifiers, and sweeteners require assessment of quantitative limits and cumulative effects of combinations. Consumers purchasing UPFs require information through ingredient health warnings and recommendations to use natural unprocessed foods which have well-described health-promoting properties.
What happens when we eat too much preservative food? Now you know. Question: doctor, which food you say is healthy? Next question: where do preservatives make? Preservatives are sourced in nature or synthesized in chemical manufacturing plants and food ingredient laboratories. They are produced to stop microbial growth and extend.
Today's sponsor on the International Translation Health Store is Restylane, the stress support supplement designed to help you relax, recharge, and feel your best. Gluten-free, vegan-friendly, made in the EU. Forget about stress and start living life to the fullest with Restylane. Whether you're dealing with anxiety, nervousness, fatigue, sleepless nights, or everyday pressure, Restylane is made to support your nervous system and help your body adapt to stress naturally. Restylane may help increase resistance to stress, support positive mood and emotional balance, reduce fatigue and exhaustion, improve sleep quality, support energy and vitality. Powered by ingredients like rhodiola rosea, magnesium, saffron extract, L-theanine, and Sorenzo, Restylane combines science-backed ingredients with natural support for mental wellness. And now, Scan the QR code on your screen to order Rest Island today and receive the free stress relief guide with your purchase. A special thank you to Rest Island for sponsoring today's video and supporting the International Translation Health Store. Rest Island, relax it. This sponsor message is brought to you by the International Translation Health Store.
Product shelf life, though their preservatives, uses, benefits, and risks, GERDhelp.com impact varies depending on whether they are natural or artificial. Question: Doctor, is it in my vegetables too? And this shock you too? Yes, it is on it too. Tomatoes and cabbage. Yes, preservatives are used on vegetables too, but it depends on how you buy them. Plain, fresh vegetables from the dirt usually do not have preservatives. However, packaged and processed vegetables often do. Here is how preservatives are used on different types of vegetables. Bagged and pre-cut vegetables. When vegetables like lettuce or carrots are cut up and put into bags, they can turn brown quickly. Factories spray them with natural vitamin C, ascorbic acid, or citric acid. These safe, natural options act as antioxidant preservatives to keep the veggies looking bright and fresh. Canned and frozen vegetables. Canned veggies, the high heat used during canning keeps the food safe, so they do not need chemical preservatives. However, many companies add salt to help keep the vegetables firm and tasty. You can learn more about how canning affects nutrients from the frozen veggies. Plain frozen veggies usually have zero preservatives. But if the bag includes a special sauce or seasoning, it will likely contain human-made preservatives. Health experts at GoodRx suggest checking the nutrition label to be sure. 2. 3. Pickled and jarred vegetables. Vegetables like pickles, olives, and peppers are made to last for months in jars. They use strong preservatives to stop mold and bacteria from growing. Natural options, vinegar and salt. Human-made options, sodium benzoate or sulfates. If you want to avoid preservatives, look for fresh, whole vegetables, or choose frozen bags with no added ingredients. Would you like to learn how to read food labels to spot these preservatives, or would you like to know which preservatives are the safest?
Why is my doctor asked me if I'm not eating healthy food? Doctors ask about your diet to screen for nutrient deficiencies, identify risks for chronic conditions, like diabetes or heart disease, or assess if an underlying illness is causing a loss of appetite. It is a routine part of preventive care to optimize your overall health. Common reasons for the question: unexplained labs or symptoms. If blood tests show anemia, or if you report fatigue and hair loss, doctors check if you are not eating enough. Social determinants of health. Providers screen to see if financial barriers or lack of access are preventing proper nutrition, allowing them to connect you with local support resources. Digestive or metabolic health. Conditions like IBS, high blood pressure, or high cholesterol often require dietary adjustments to manage. Disordered eating screening. Sometimes doctors ask to ensure you do not have an overly restrictive relationship with food, such as orthorexia. Adjusting to healthier habits. If you recently shifted your diet, you might experience negative reactions like fatigue or gut issues as your body adapts.
Question: Doctors, if the food in my convenience store isn't good for my health, and the vegetables are the same thing, doctor, where can I get this healthy diet? I don't start talking about oil, drinks, and meat, especially red meat. The International Translation Health Store final thought. Food is important to our diet. But you need a balanced diet. You need fresh fruits, not processed fruits. Fruits that pick off a tree nearby if it is possible. Preservatives have a negative effect on your health. We recommend natural preservatives, and if you can grow your own backyard vegetable garden, it is better for your health. And now we come to the end of this video. Goodbye for now.